Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss about the chapter 1 of pure mathematics, and in the subsection types of functions we have the algebraic functions, and in the algebraic functions again we have polynomial functions and radical functions. So we look at the definition of a polynomial function, the examples and the domain of a polynomial function, and thereafter we look at the radical functions, the definition of radical function, examples of radical functions, and thereafter the domain of radical function. So let us first start with the polynomial functions. So when we say a function is a polynomial function, here I have taken x and fx. X is the independent variable which represents the values of the domain, and fx is the image of x under the function f. And when we say this fx is a polynomial function is whenever fx is a polynomial. So what is the definition of a polynomial of degree n? Any expression of the form fx is equal to an x power n plus an minus 1 x power n minus 1 plus so on a1 x power 1 plus a naught. So this kind of expression we call it as a polynomial expression. So if fx is a polynomial expression like this, we call it as a polynomial of degree n, where all these a naught, a1, so on, an are constants, and an should not be 0. So an should not be 0 because it is a polynomial of degree n, so the coefficient of x power n cannot be 0. Whenever the coefficient of x power n is 0, if it becomes 0, then it will be a polynomial of lesser degree, not degree n. So for it to be a polynomial of degree n, we need the condition that this the coefficient of x power n should not be 0, and the others a naught, a1, so on are all constants. So if fx is of this form, a polynomial of degree n, then it is called a polynomial function. So the image is a polynomial of degree n, then it is called a polynomial function. So let us look at different types of polynomials. To understand polynomial function, first we start with n equal to 0. So I have taken the polynomial of degree n, an x power n plus an minus 1 x power n minus 1 plus so on a1 x power 1 plus a naught. So in this one, if we take n is equal to 0, that means the highest power of x is 0. If we put n equal to 0, so x power 0 is 1, and here you will get a naught. That means fx will be simply a naught. So a naught is a constant, as we have seen before. A naught is a constant. So when n is equal to 0, when the polynomial of degree 0 if we take, it is nothing but a constant. So polynomial of degree 0 is a constant, and this is called a constant function. So the image of any x is simply a constant. The next one, if we take n equal to 1, let us put n equal to 1 in this equation, in this polynomial. If we put n equal to 1, you will get a1 x power 1 plus a naught. If we put n equal to 1, this will become 0, so a naught x power 0. That means whenever n equal to 1, fx will be reduced to simply a1 x power 1 plus a naught, where this a1 should not be 0, because if a1 is 0, you will get simply a naught, which will be a constant again. Therefore a1 should not be 0. So a1 x power 1 plus a naught, and a naught and a1 are any constants with the condition that a1 not equal to 0. So this kind of function we call it as linear function. So linear function is a polynomial of degree 1, because we are taking n equal to 1 to obtain this form fx is equal to a1 x power 1 plus a naught. And thereafter we take n equal to 2. So if we put n equal 2 in this, we will be getting a2 x power 2 plus a1 x power 1 plus a0. That means it will be reduced to a second degree polynomial, and which we call it as quadratic. So a second degree polynomial is nothing but a quadratic expression, and therefore this function is called a quadratic function. And in this quadratic function, this coefficient of x power 2, that is a2 is the coefficient of x power 2, it should not be 0. Again, as we have seen before, if a2 becomes 0, then this will be reduced to a lower degree polynomial. So for it to be a polynomial of degree 2, a2 should not be 0. a2 is not equal to 0. And the constants a0, a1 and a2 be any constants, any real numbers. So these are some of the polynomials. Polynomial of degree 0 is a constant, any constant, and polynomial of degree 1 is a expression of this form. We call it as linear expression, in which we will have x terms, and when n is equal to, it will be a polynomial of degree 2, where you will have x square terms and x terms and constant. So these constants a0, a1 and a2 can be any constants, with the condition that a2 should not be 0. That means coefficient of x square is not equal to 0. Then it is a quadratic function. So let us see the constant function. So the constant function is nothing but the image fx is a constant. So fx is a polynomial of degree 0. The polynomial of degree 0, if we take for fx, it is called a constant function. So as we have seen before, put n equal to 0 in this one, in this expression, fx will be simply equal to a0, only one constant. And this a0 constant can be any constant from the real numbers, any real constant. You can take a0 as 1, a0 as 2, a0 is 3, or a0 is 0, or a0 is minus 1, or a0 is 1 over 2, any real number. For example, if I take fx is equal to, so this is a constant function where each element in the domain x represents the values of the domain, and fx is the image. Here image is always same as 2. It is fixed at 2 because it is a constant. So here you can look at this diagram. X values, if I take 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the values in the domain, and then the images, x image, if we put x is equal to 1, the image is 2, and if we put x is equal to 2, again the image is 2, because the image is fixed, it is a constant, always 2. And if x is equal to 3, again the image is 2, and if x is 4, and image is again 2. Therefore the constant function f can be written as a set of ordered pairs 1 2, 2 2, 3 2, 4 2. That means one image is 2, 2 image is also 2, 3 image is also 2, and 4 image is also 2. So this is about constant function. Let us look at another example of constant function. So let us take gx is equal to minus 1. For the constant function, you can take any constant on the right hand side. So here in place of a0, one constant, this constant can be any real number. So here I have taken in this example the constant as minus 1. So for any x value in the domain, the image is always minus 1. So let us take x is minus 1, the image is minus 1. If we take x is 0, again the image is minus 1. If x is 3, image is minus 1, and if x is 4, and the image is minus 1. Therefore this constant function g can be written as it is equal to set of ordered pairs minus 1, 0 minus 1, 3 minus 1, and 4 minus 1. So all the elements have a constant image. All the elements in the domain have a constant image minus 1. Similarly, you can try this. This function I have taken hx is equal to 0. The constant I have taken as 0. So you can take some elements in the domain and you can find the respective images of those elements in the domain, and you can write H in the set form. H as a set of ordered pairs. You try to do this one. Now we go to the next, second one, linear function. So the linear function is nothing but the image fx is a polynomial of degree 1. In the previous examples we have seen what is constant function, what is linear function, and what is quadratic function. Here linear function is nothing but a polynomial of degree 1. So in this polynomial, if we take n is equal to 1, put n is equal to 1 here, fx will be a1 x power 1 plus a0, where a1 should not be 0, that is x coefficient should not be 0, and a0 and a1 can be any constants, and with the only condition a1 cannot be 0. So if a1 is 0, there will be no x term, and therefore it will be simply a constant, which is a constant function. But here we have linear should have x terms, that means the coefficient of x should not be 0. Let us take an example. In place of a0 and a1, if we take -3 and 2, any constants you can take. So here I have taken a0 is -3 and a1 is 2. Then the constant function is fx is equal to 2x minus 3. So for various values in the domain, under this function, under this linear function, you can find the images. So if you put x is equal to -2, so the value of the domain values are represented by x, and the images are nothing but fx. Here fx is 2x minus 3, which is a linear which contains x terms. So if you put x is equal to 2 here, fx, f of -2, 2 times -2, -4 and -3, that will be -7. So -2 will be mapped to -7, and 0, if we put x is equal to 0 here, f of 0 will be 2 times 0 is 0, 0 minus 3, -3. That means 0 will be mapped to -3. Similarly, if we put x is 3, you will be getting f of 3 will be 3 again, and if you put x is 4, you will be getting the image as 5. So the elements -2, 0 and 3, 4 are mapped to -7, -3 and 3 and 5. So these are the images of these 4 elements, and therefore this function f can be written as, with these elements, if we take in the domain, then under this function, linear function, the images are for 1 -3, for 0 -3, and for 1 it should be -7. So I have taken for 1, if we take 1, it will be -1 it will be. So we have to change these values. For 0 -3 is correct, for 3 3, for 5 if we take x is equal to 4, 2 4s are 8, 8 minus 3 5. But for x is equal to 1, if we take x is equal to 1 here, 2 1s are 2, 2 minus 3 will be -1. So this value is not -3, it is -1. So for various values you can find the images under this function. So you correct this one, that for the element x is 1, the image is -1, not -3. And another example of a linear function, fx is equal to a1 x power 1 plus a0. So if I take a0 is 0 and a1 is 5, you will be getting this, and I call this linear function as gx. So gx will be equal to 5x with the special values. A0 is I have taken as 0, and with a1 as 5, the particular linear function is gx is 5x. And if you take the values of x, the domain values -1, 0, 3 and 4, and the corresponding images, If we put x is equal to -1, the image is -5. If we put x is 0, image is 0. If x is 3, image is 15, and if x is 4, image is 20. So therefore the function g can be written this way, which is a linear function. So always the linear function will have x terms, and you can try to find these images under this function hx for the same values of the domain. If we take x values -1, 0, 3 and 4, what are the values of the range, that is the images set under this function h? You can try. And now we go to the quadratic function. The quadratic function is nothing but the function where fx is a polynomial of degree 2. So if we take n is equal to in this expression, you will be getting fx is equal to a2 x power 2 plus a1 x power 1 plus a0, where a2, a1 and a0 are constants, any constants, with the only exception that a2 should not be 0. As we have seen before, if a2 is 0, it will be reduced to a lower degree. It cannot be degree 2. So for it to be a degree 2, a2 should not be 0, and a0 and a1 can be any constants. So if we take in particular a0 is -3, a1 is -2 and a2 is 1, you will be getting fx is equal to x square minus 2x minus 3. In fact, you can take any constants for a0, a1 and a2 with the only condition a2 cannot be 0. So here I have taken the choices, a0 is -3, a1 -2, a2 1, so that the quadratic function is nothing but a degree polynomial of degree 2. And under this function, if we take the values in the domain 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the values of the domain, and then corresponding images we can get as -4, -3, 0 and 5. So if we put x is equal to 1 here, the image of 1 will be 1 square, 2 times 1 and -3. 1 -2 -3, that will be -4. So the image of 1 is 4. Similarly, the other images you can get 2 images -3, and 3 images 0, and 4 images 5. Therefore the function f for these elements in the domain, the images are -4, -3, 0 and 5. So this is an example of quadratic function. So far we have taken the constant function, the linear function, and now the quadratic function. Another example of the quadratic function. So if you take in the previous, in place of a0 and a1 and a2, you can take any constants where a2 should not be 0. So in the next example, if you see, I have taken a0 as 7, a1 is -1 and a2 is 3. Then you will get another quadratic function, gx is equal to 3x square minus x plus 7. Under this function, for various values of the domain, you can find the images, just like we did before. By putting x is equal to -1, you can find g of -1, which is image of -1 under this function g. So g of -1 is nothing but 11, and g of 2, if you put x is 2, you will be getting the image 17, and g of 3, if we put x is equal to 3, the image will be 31, and if we put x is equal to 4 here, g of 4, that is image of 4 under this function will be 51. You can verify these values for this function. In a similar way, you can try later for this function hx, which is also a quadratic function. You can find the images of the values in the domain. You can take these values in the domain or some other values you can take in the domain, and so that you can find respective images under this function h. So this you can try later. Now, what is the domain of polynomial functions? Domain, as I said before, nothing but the values of represented by x. So what type of values x can take for a polynomial function? So fx is a polynomial of degree n, then what is x? That means what type of values you can take for x. So in the previous examples, if you observe, I have taken x values -1, 2, 3, 4. So positive and negative, both values I have taken. And even before, in this example, I have taken all positive 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the previous example, I have taken -1 negative value, 0 value, thereafter positive values. So x values, what you observe for the polynomial function, you can take any value. You can take any value for the x, and that value can be any from the set of real numbers. Therefore x can be any value from R, where R is the set of real numbers. So the domain of polynomial functions is R. R is the set of real numbers. So whenever there is a polynomial function, what is the x value you can take is any value from R, that is positive real number or negative real number or 0. So real numbers we know, you can take 0, 1, 2, 3 or -1, -2, -3. Those are positive integers, negative integers. Thereafter rational numbers, 1/2, 1/3, 1/6, -1/2, -1/6, so on. Similarly, you can take fractions. After that, rational numbers, irrational numbers of the type square root 2, square root 5, like that. Any real number you can take as the value of x. So if you take a value of x, you can take the corresponding, the domain value or the image of x under this polynomial function. So from this, what you understand, the domain of the polynomial function is R. R means the set of real numbers. So for x, you can take any real number. Now let us look at the radical functions. So when we say a function is radical function, here I have taken again x. X is the value in the domain, and fx is the image of x under the function f. So if this image fx is a nth root of a polynomial, then we say it is a radical function. That means the image should be of the form nth root of some gx. So where n is a positive integer greater than or equal to 2. That means n can be 2 or 3 or 4 or any integer greater than or equal to 2. So if n is equal to 2, it is called square root, and if n is equal to 3, it is called cube root, and if n is equal to 4, it is fourth root, and so on. So whenever the image fx is of the form nth root of gx, where gx is any polynomial and it is in the nth root, then it is called a radical function. So radical functions are always of the type fx is equal to nth root of some x terms within the root. Now let us look at examples. Fx is equal to square root x square minus 3x plus 2. So this is a radical function where x terms are under the square root. Nothing is appearing here, indicates it is a square root. And another example, you can take fx is equal to cube root of 3x plus 2. Here 3x plus 2 is under the cube root. So any root, cube root or square root or fourth root, and all these functions we call them the radical functions. So whenever the image is of the form of a square root or a cube root, or in general any mth root, it is known as the radical function. Now what is the domain of a radical function? So whenever the radical function is given as nth root of some gx, so whatever the term inside the root, that is gx, should be positive when n is even. So if the root, nth root where n is even number, that means n is 2, n is 4, n is 6, and so on, then the inside that root should be always positive, because for even number, when n is even number, mth root of any expression is valid only when this inside the root should be positive. Whenever the inside root is positive, the mth root of that expression is valid. Therefore, whenever n is even number, the gx, the inside expression of the root, should be always 0 or greater than 0. That is non-negative. You can say 0 or greater than 0. So you can write gx greater than or equal to 0. That is, inside the mth root is always non-negative. That is when n is even. Whereas if n is odd, if this root, mth root n, is odd number like 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 and so on, then x can be any value from R. That means all real numbers. You can take any real number for x. There is no restriction on x. You can take any real number for x when n is odd. So we are finding the domain. The domain is nothing but what values of you can take for x. X is always in the domain, as we have seen. Fx is the image of x. So what x values you can take when n is odd? Any x value from the real numbers you can take. So the domain is complete R. Just like polynomial functions, the domain is R when n is odd, and when n is even, for a radical function, the inside root should always be non-negative, that is greater than or equal to 0. Now let us look at this example. Fx is equal to square root 5x minus 10. So it is a radical function because this expression having x terms is inside the root. It is a square root, and whenever there is a square root, it is even number. Square root is even number. N is here 2. So n is 2 is even number. Therefore, the domain is all real numbers for which the condition we have seen before. The condition is when n is even number, inside root should be non-negative, that is greater than or equal to 0. So the same condition we apply here. It is a square root where n is 2. Here n is 2. Therefore, inside square root, that is 5x minus 10, should be greater than or equal to 0. And if we simplify from this, 5x greater than or equal to 10, and from that we get x greater than or equal to 2. So the domain is any real number, x belongs to R, and with the condition that x greater than or equal to 2. So you can take any real number which is greater than or equal to 2. So what are the real numbers greater than or equal to 2? Is nothing but the open interval 2 to infinite. And in fact, you can include 2 also here. So this bracket you can write it as closed 2 to infinity. It is not open to, it should be closed 2 to infinite. So any numbers you can take 2 are greater than 2. So you can include 2 also. So by putting a square bracket here, not open bracket, we call it as closed bracket. You can make it as a closed bracket, closed 2 to infinite. So similarly, you can try to find the domain of this function. Gx is equal to 4th root of minus 2x plus 7. So here also the root n value is 4, which is even number. So whenever n is even number, the inside root should be positive. So put this inside root as non-negative, like this, greater than or equal to 0, and find the value of x, so that we can find the domain of this radical function. So let us look at another example. Fx is equal to square root x square minus 3x plus 2. Here again, since it is a square root, n is 2, so 2 is even number. So whenever the root is square root and n is even number, the condition is that x can be any real number for which the inside root should be greater than or equal to 0. So x square minus 3x plus 2 greater than or equal to 0. And now if we simplify this, x square minus 3x plus 2 and factorize, you will be getting x minus 2 times x minus 1. This is the factorization of x square minus 3x plus 2. So this should be greater than or equal to 0. So the product of x minus 2 and x minus 1 greater than or equal to 0. So when product of two terms is positive, when both are positive, or when both are negative. So product of two terms is positive when both are positive. That means x minus 2 is positive, x minus 1 is positive. That I have written here. X minus 2 positive, x minus 1 is positive, or both are negative. If both are negative, then also the product of these two will be positive. So x minus 2 is negative, it should be negative here. So it is written wrong. We can make it as less than or equal to 0, and x minus 1 is also less than or equal to 0. It is not greater than or equal to here. X minus 2 less than or equal to 0, x minus 1 less than or equal to 0. Now from x minus 2 greater than or equal to 0 and x minus 1 greater than or equal to 0, we will get x greater than or equal to 2, because x greater than or equal to 2 and x greater than or equal to 1 you will have. So x is more than 1 and x is more than 2. So from these two we can take x is greater than or equal to 2, because whenever x is greater than or equal to 2, x automatically will be greater than or equal to 1. Therefore from these two we can take x greater than or equal to 2. And here in the second one, x less than or equal to, as I told, this is not greater than, this is less than or equal to, correct it as less than or equal to. So x greater less than or equal to 2, x less than or equal to 1. If we take minus 1 other side, x less than or equal to 1. So x less than or equal to 1 and x less than or equal to, from both we can take x less than or equal to 1, because whenever x less than or equal to 1, automatically x will be less than or equal to 2 also. So finally we get x greater than or equal to 2 or x less than or equal to 1. So the domain is nothing but any real number with this condition, either it is greater than or equal to or x less than or equal to 1. Therefore the domain is all real numbers from minus infinite to 1. That means numbers less than or equal to 1 up to minus infinity R. So for representing R we put union, and the numbers greater than or equal to, that means you can put 2 or more than 2. Here also you can change it to closed interval, because you can include 2 also. So you can make it as closed to, here also closed 1. So this is the domain of this radical function square root x square minus 3x plus 2. Now let us look at some more examples. Fx is equal to cube root of 3x plus 2. Here the n value is 3, which is an odd number, and before we have seen that whenever n is an odd number, the domain of this function is complete R. That means you can take any x value which is a real number. So there is no restriction on x. X can be positive real number, negative real number, or 0, because n is 3, which is an odd number. Similarly, if gx is 7th root of minus x plus 2, again n is 7, which is an odd number. Therefore the domain is again R. You can take any value for x, because the domain is R, any real value which is positive or negative or 0. Similarly, if hx is 9th root of 9x minus 2, again n is 9, therefore the domain is R. So you can take any x value which is a real number for this radical function. So with this we come to the end of this video, which is about the polynomial functions and the radical functions. Thank you.